way, I want to revisit this 1991 Corniche one more time before we show a finished product. We started off showing that there were some apparent problems in under the finish prior to removing the original finish. And then after that was done, we pointed out, as it became more apparent, some of the problems. We talked about those in the raw state, and now this particular door cap, which is the driver's side out of this 91 Corniche, exhibited further problems. Before it was the crossband and the veneer and the boxwood, and as we worked with this, the seam that holds the vertical face with the horizontal solid wood had a movement in it. And that's one of the first things you have to deal with in restoration, and most of the times you don't have to, is that one of the fundamental glue lines or glue joints in the piece is flawed or weakened, and that's what happened here. And in order to get a good clean re-glue, we were able to separate and work loose this top solid wood piece, which is walnut, and then the vertical face of the door cap, which carries the decorative veneer. So as you can see, this is a very clean separation. We were lucky that way. And here's the spline, the plywood spline that holds the two together. This is a typical way of making a Rolls-Royce door cap, at least up until current times, or a Bentley door cap, where you'd have a solid wood piece in walnut, and then you'd have this vertical piece that was veneered. And they would be put together with a spline of some kind, typically. So we're going to clean this up, clean up the spline, possibly reuse the original one, and then re-glue this with an industrial waterproof glue prior to any finishing. If this were to have been left undone and there was a little bit of movement after the new finish was applied 6 months from now in the sun and so forth, there would have been certainly cracking of the new finish. Nothing wrong with the finish, it's just that the substrate was not stable, and that the surgery or the reworking of the joints have to be done before we get into the cosmetics.